So, welcome to Off the Shelf. I am your host, Miss Victoria, and of course, today we have Avian. She has been the one helping me out on these times. Of course, when I have been out, and I joined in a couple while I was out. Today, ours is going to be. We're going to finish February. There's a couple we didn't get to, but don't worry about it. We are going to move those to a different month, so we're still going to be doing those topics. What we're going to do is combine kind of two topics. We're doing this week is going to be eye candy book covers. And the reason I put that is because a lot of these book covers have a certain, whenever you look at books, in order to read it, a lot of us look at the cover. Well, this is it, but this is still in February, so it has to be romance books. So let's go ahead and move on to the first one.
And then knock up. There we go.
Okay, first one. Of course, this author is well known for her covers. Joanna Lindsay, and this one is a part of her series, and this one's Stormy Persuasion. The title alone gives it to you.
Is it about pirates?
Huh?
Is it about pirates?
It may be about pirates, yes, because they are on a ship. And of course, here's you can see the sword on the side. Then you have the damsel and her nice period dress, I guess you can call it historical period kind of dress there. So these are typically what you would call historical fiction, because they're doing just for the part of the time period that they're doing it in. And she's a well-known one. I decided to go with this one because eye candy covers, you don't want, some of them, they tend to have just a female in a dress. For us women, sometimes you want one with the male in there. You want both of them together. So you can see the romance of her looking at him lovingly. So that's a good one. If you want something that's a quick read, I guess I can say from separation, like if you're a historical person who reads those type of books or nonfiction, this is a nice break, these type of books. So let's go ahead and move on to the next author. She's a well-known one too.
Joanna Shoup.
Joanna Shoup, she's a different one. And you can see an author, you can see one big icon that gives it away that people know is the Avon books. Those are very popular. If you see a lot of people, they order Avon and these books are in there. There's the publishing one. And it says Uptown Girl. So that is the name of the series. And this is a Prince on Broadway for this one. And I went with the couple, and you can see the background of it. It's just a nice dress. It looks like almost like a wedding dress, but I don't believe it is. I think it's just a time period.
I like that dress.
But if you notice these books, Avian, the first one showed a little bit more of the chest. And here they kind of do a subtle. Some of these books,
subdued.
Exactly. They do it very subdued because they just want to show enough to get you to be like, oh, okay, that cover caught my attention. I like romance books, and I kind of want something a little different than this mystery book I'm reading. I'm going to go ahead and try this one out. So that's a good, well-known one for you too. I don't see her that often, this person, but I know the one that talks about is Sarah McLean. She's a well-known historical romance kind of, her covers are pretty much like Joanna Lindsay's, the one that we saw a while ago. This is one I just wanted to change it up, and maybe people will look at it and check it out because she's not one of the popular ones.
Yeah, I've never seen this author's name, but all right. This one's the one that I see all the time.
Yes. I'm more than sure you have.
Like there's a whole shelf.
Yeah, this was there. Mary Jo, I think I want to say her name is Putney.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it. And you can see the one talking romance at its best is Julia Quinn. And if everybody knows Julia Quinn reading wise, but of course our younger people are knowing her before the Netflix series Bridgerton, because she actually wrote the book Bridgerton. It's actually a Julia Quinn novel, which I didn't even know. So I think that one might be in our system, but it might show up a little bit later on. I might have added it for one of our online resources.
Later. Yeah.
This is no longer a gentleman, the Lost Lord series. So I put these because I know my mom actually reads a lot of historical romance ones. Usually she does a Scottish or the Lords kind of series. It's just something I've got into it, and I've read it once just to do different change, and it's Some of it has good storylines, but the plot wise, you gotta pick the author. And she's a good one to read if you want to just dabble in it and just try it out. She's a good one to try. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like all these type are always your paperbacks.
Yeah, they're like really small paperbacks.
Yes, they're very small paperbacks. So they're like what you would call quick reads. You know, you're going to read it real quick. You know, instead of reading your, let's say, for example, Jane Austen, hey, let me read this one. You're still going to get the romance and stuff, but may not be the wording like Jane Austen, but you're still going to get a happy ending or something's going to happen in it.
Interesting.
And our last one is one more.
I've seen these too.
Yes, this is one I know, and because the only reason I know this one, well-known one, is because Mary Wine. I had never heard of her, but when I was working at a different branch, my mom loves the Highland books, like I mentioned. She loves Highland books, dealing with them, the clans. She needed a new author, and she read pretty much everything of Nora Roberts. And the romance side, she doesn't do Nora mystery type. So I found this name, Mary Wine, on Fantastic Fiction. If y'all haven't gone already, always check out fantasticfiction.com.
Fiction is awesome.
And if you like a certain author, there's other ones there and it can lead you. But Mary Wine's a good one. She has a lot of them. We do have her series, a good fair amount here at Garcia and some of the other branches. She has a new series out, but that one's primarily on Hoopla. We're looking into I'm trying to convince the manager here to possibly get the actual books, because a lot of people, no offense, I love ebooks too, but you want to hold it in your hand. So we're trying to get that, but this was a good series. My mom loved it. The storyline, it gives a lot of details of like the time period and, you know, kind of besides a whole dealing with the, right there, her father, Shirley wants to kill them both, and he finds out what they've done, this whole family.
Okay, so this was like drama.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama in it, but, well, you can picture this one great. So if you want someone close to Nora Roberts, and it's I suggest Mary Wine. And of course, you can't help the eye candy cover right there. I mean, if you're a historical person, you're going to look at what the pleat on there, what clan it is.
That's not historically accurate.
Well, the clans, actually, the plaid right there.
Yeah, they have different ones.
You might want to historically be like, historic person's thinking that, or the background. Another person's just thinking of the eye candy that's underneath that. Yeah.
I'll see which one.
What can I say? So let's go ahead and look at our Hoopla ones. Okay. All these I decided to do a little mix on our eye candy. First one, of course, is a Janine March. I never heard of her, but it's a cowboy. What better eye candy than a guy working? You can see him out there, the cowboy hat. He's working hard on the ranch. He's in nice blue jeans.
I always wonder where they find the people that are on these covers. Like, is it from like a pool of models?
They actually have like models. They literally get paid to just pose for the covers.
It's an interesting job.
Yeah. And if you know Jodie Thomas, she's a well-known one that writes a lot of Western romances. Mm-hmm. So that's a good plus for this person. Of course, our next one is Netflix, Bridgerton. This is a Duke and I. So it is by Julia Quinn. So I don't know if we actually have the book itself. I know it's donated to us. I don't know if it's going to have been added yet in the system, but we do have the ebook available on Hoopla. So those of you who are into Bridgerton that have been watching on Netflix, waiting for the next season already, because I'm more sure you already binge watched the first season. This may be something you might want to check out and read while you're waiting for season 2.
I have not watched or read Bridgerton. I have only seen like the fun facts. Like apparently where they film some of the scenes, they have to have people like guard the set because the rooms and the houses that they film in are so antique that they don't want damage to happen during the scenes. Mm-hmm. That's very interesting.
Did not know that, but I do know that there's what they showed in the trailer got me interested. Like, okay, it's like scandalous, and this person's pretty much doing back in the time gossip, like Dear Abby, but like the gossip column. Like she's pretty much, but this is like at the time that it's done is kind of interesting. But then when I hear more about it, is like kind of like, whoa, it's almost you're 50 Shades of Gray, and it's like, hold
Yeah,
on.
there's apparently a lot of spicy.
Yeah, and the one
Spicy.
who directed or did Bridgerton is the same one who did Scandal, I think.
Mhm.
Shonda something is her name. I forgot the rest, but she's the one that just does Bridgerton. So she's the one that is the one that, so they kind of figured, I think maybe Shonda Roberts. I could be wrong on that one, but it's well known. People like it, so you might want to check out the book. Next one, of course, I decided, you know what? I love Supernatural. Why don't I get an eye candy that's going to combine Highland Scottish people and werewolves? Why not?
That's an interesting mix.
Surprisingly, it's out there. So you get Highlanders and werewolves at the same time. So
Something
I'm
for
more
everybody.
to a werewolf.
That's really
I never heard of the author, but I thought it was very interesting.
Harry
If you look up romance, and then within there they have all these subcategories. You will find it'll say supernatural. you find a lot of those.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's other ones I think you would get a kick out of too.
There's a dinosaur series. That's
I'm-
interesting.
I'm
The Highland werewolves. That's a good mix.
It's a good mix. I mean, it's like supernatural combined or something. The show.
Very nice.
The last one I just go historical Harlequin, a well-known romance. You know they're gonna have eye candy on that one. Apparently, there's a series they have is dealing with Vikings. So I was like, I did a cowboy, I did British with Bridgerton, went with the Highland Scottish and Supernatural. Why not finish with Vikings?
Okay.
Historical one. It doesn't hurt. And people who read Harlequin, I'm more than sure they've read this, and I'm guessing it's probably like those little thin paperback ones that are probably like 60 pages, 70, 80, it's not.
Oh, okay. So even
little
smaller
thin,
than the paperbacks.
Yes, smaller than normal, I would assume.
Nice.
Let's see, I don't remember if I did Access 360. Yes, I did.
You did some Access
All
ones.
right.
More
Okay,
cowboys.
So I continued the cowboy. And this one just focusing on his chops and his shirt. He worked hard. That's typical. If someone wants a book real quick to read and they see that cover, they're probably going to be like, kind of do those sideways, like eyes, like,
I'm not going to touch it.
and check it out. Like, whoop, no one's seeing this. I'm checking this out. I'm going to save the second one for a little bit. Next one is the cowboy firefighter. Just like before with the Supernatural and Highland, I said, well, you never know. Firefighters, who doesn't like a firefighter? And you throw in a cowboy.
You can have it all.
And it's during the holidays. It's like a Hallmark movie. I'm more than sure there's probably a Hallmark movie called A Cowboy Firefighter. I don't have my doubts.
I'll look it up. I'm sure
it probably does. If you look it up, you look Hallmark, it's a Christmas movie. He's a cowboy working at a ranch, and I'm more than sure if he volunteers for the fire department.
What a guy. What a lad.
If not Hallmark, if they're watching this, they're probably going to make a movie like that.
Please take this idea and make it a reality.
I know, I should have copyrighted that. Now, the last one over here is Maya Banks. She is another one. And you can tell it's dealing with Highland and Highland, I say Highland, but it's going to deal with Scotland. It's because of the plaid in the background. And she has deals with the clans and stuff as usual. And it's not as over the top with the shirt open. You can see it covers. She has a nice, beautiful dress.
Like her dress.
Yeah, it's a nice dress. And it's a Never Seduce a Scot. So, it's going to be like her trying to get him. Probably. There's, of course, probably going to be some kind of drama within the families. There's something going on between them. So that's a quick read people would like. She's also a good one, like Mary Wine. That's a very good author to read for those type of Scottish and Highland books. And the last one everybody should know is Diana Gabaldon. I know I can never.
It's very popular.
Correctly. I want to say it's Gabaldon.
Yeah, hey, you got it right.
Close enough. And we all know the Outlander series, which is on Stars, and by now there's so many books and people are waiting. I think they just did the recent one, and they're still waiting for the next one. So if you like, just want to remind y'all to make sure to visit our Facebook and YouTube channel, which is the Corpus Christi Public Libraries. If you haven't already, like the Facebook page, and of course, subscribe to our channel. If you want a list of all the videos that are offered from the branches, go to our website, cctexas.com/library, which is on this page here. And you can also look at the branches broken down, the programs, click on them, and go ahead and watch them. And of course, if you need any help, use those new book alerts, author check, and book newsletter to help you out to find any books that it's gonna be hard to find eye candy books. You can find the ones we just posted right now, or
Like
you can just look at
romance or historical romance, and that should help
and
you.
of course, call us.
Yeah, if you need any help.
Yeah, if you need help, just a quick reminder, next week's, we're gonna start March, which is gonna be all about St. Patrick's Day and everything green and Irish, because that's my favorite month. So we're gonna have some books dealing with some maybe just green book covers. Is actually the first one next week. So any book that has a green cover, because
great.
as always, green is lucky, and you must always wear green on St. Patrick's Day, unless you follow the thing, you might get pitched. Because you gotta wear green. So hope you're ready for that one next week, and I will see you next time.
Ready? Bye.
Bye.